attempt to announce the stream. Nope. Okay, so where I left off, download processor, its video timer was just not doing anything apparently. This part I know worked. What didn't work was filling in the blank packets. Let's just figure out what it's actually getting set to. Actually wanted Chrome, not Firefox. Well, there are some fast starting browsers. They sure start up real quick like. It's very angry about me not updating it. Let me get that update process started in the background, just because I'll forget otherwise. Wait, this isn't the way to do this. This is the way to do this. What? What happened to this makefile? What the hell? I don't even understand how that happened. Oh, of course, because it never needed to update that. Okay. Let's go ahead and make a quick recording that will have a video recording associated. Get a video recording in there. Doesn't have to be long, just has to be video. Finish that, wait for it to finish uploading. I should round that up just so that it doesn't say 0 megs to upload. That's just a bit frustrating of a message. Let me actually reattach this. So I just need the console messages. Okay, this looks fine. Yeah, blank count is set to 0. Like, other than that, it seems that almost everything is working. So the question is, why did that happen? Let's see whether this even happened. And whether it made any sense. So the first time seems fine. I mean, I don't know exactly what it should be, of course, but I can believe that it should be 3514. Stream. Right, okay, so that is the stream in particular, not fine, so that should be right. And the frame rate, well, I guess I don't know what the frame rate is. Possible I just got the frame rate wrong. If I horribly miscalculated the frame rate, then that explains that. That's gotta be it. It's gotta be that I set the frame rate to like 7,000 or something. that would explain it. If the frame rate is 0, then this would get not a number and be really screwed up. If the frame rate is very low, then I would be putting in too many frames, but I'm putting in 0 frames, so I must have somehow miscomputed the frame rate high. I set the frame rate to 15. I can completely... Did I divide by the frame rate and say... This is the timestamp in seconds, so the number of frames is that times the frame rate. That's why they call it frames per second. Okay, and if we've got any blanks to do... then we do them, periodically putting in an iframe. Oh, interesting. If we're sending the blank frames, we only send the blank frames. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. Should be, at worst, harmless. My avatar is having real troubles today. Maybe I should reboot the old Windows system, see if that makes it a little bit happier. When Windows is behaving badly, reboot again. Oh yeah, the fact that I can't even log into my Windows system that runs the avatar software suggests that it's having issues. Okay. Now, here's the problem. If that last change worked, since everything else was working, then I'm done. And I didn't want to be done because that means I have nothing left to fix. Once it's done, you've just moved to deployment. Oh, good. It's still broken. Interesting. Properties. So I must have sent through junk. Probably blank I or blank P didn't get set. So how do these get set? I don't really foresee any way. The Windows machine, it started responding. I can reboot it now. Yeah, I just don't really foresee any way that we could fail to get blank I or blank P set. Was this what I wanted to do? Wait just a cotton picking second. I didn't add it to... Oh my god, I'm doing a smash-up job of making stupid mistakes. Okay, let's see where we are now. Oh, just immediate failure on the avatar, so much for that. That is not the place I actually care about. So it's copying in the packets, it's right multi. So somehow I got junk. Where did I get junk? It has to be in the packet itself. So presumably in the data of the packet? I mean, this is a very strange thing that I'm doing here. I'm just using the packet as a prototype and then overwriting its PDS many times. For all I know, that doesn't even, like, transfer properly. Does that transfer properly? Is that a testable theory? Yes, I can. Yes, okay. I can create a new message channel. On message log event data to.post message. Let's just make sure that works. Yes, okay. X equals y equals object.create from x y.pt. Oh, that already looks bad. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work at all. Yeah, it's gonna get the right thing, but there's no way that it's gonna transfer properly. I had no idea that that happened. That's interesting. So the message transfer rules violate prototype-based object orientation. I'll have to use object.assign instead. That's gross. But let me actually verify that before being ultra confident in it. Yeah, look at that. There's no way. There's no way this is going to do what I wanted it to. Look at that. It's just gone. It's just gone. That's wacky. That's genuinely surprising. Okay, well, I did something that should have worked but didn't. That's the other way to duplicate an object. Shallow duplicate an object. I certainly don't need to deep duplicate the object in this particular case. That's a very surprising bit of information there. I guess I don't know what else it would do. I guess, like, if the prototype was clonable, then it could clone the prototype, but, like, you wouldn't want to do that if you've got a whole bunch of objects you're sending. It's going to cause absolute madness. PTS less than... Oh! Yeah, it probably doesn't like the fact that the DTS is unset. That's the... Okay, I'm not even going to look at the result of that. Having the DTS unset was what we in the business call a mistake. Let's just set the PTS and the DTS to the same. And in fact, really the right way to do this is to set PTS to that. And then... what am I trying to do? Oh, do I even have a libav reference here? I should. It's probably called LA. Yeah. And then I should make sure to get lost. No. That no is me not having the type definitions in this particular place. So I want a F64. F64 to I64? Yes, and it does low-high, as it should. F64 to I64 of all of that. And that way, even if the numbers get very, very high, I will be able to do it right. Yes equals PTS0, packet.pts high equals PTS1, and the whole point was to set the DTS the same. Okay, there we go. Quick maths. It's upgrading libc. How long has it been since I updated this virtual machine? Oh, is that why this failed? I guess, yeah, I only use it in here. Yeah, why would I need it in this block? So that's fine. I'll just use this.la. No problem. This particular function doesn't even go to the C, so don't even actually need an instance of libavjs. You can just use the wrapper, but as I have an instance, I'll use the instance. Okay, these aren't actually errors. This I need to update, but it's not important. Oh, okay. Yeah. Everywhere where I update the PTS, it's very important that I update the DTS, and I don't know why I can't figure that out. Yep. Made all the same mistakes all over again. Just trying to check if I have LA in context here. I do. I think I do. Whatever. This is going to be a bit ugly. PTS equals main packet 0.dts equals low bits dot PTS high equals dot DTS high equals the high bits. Okay. The file that I just made actually probably would have played fine, but as I put weird data into it, I would rather not just trust that it'll play fine. Let's actually prove whether it'll play fine, and let's make a correct file and see whether that plays fine. I don't like that libav. I mean, it's a default. I didn't set the log level, but like this is sent as if it's an error. It's not an error. It's just like telling you some irrelevant data. This is sent as if it's an error. It's not an error. So no actual errors that time. FLAC 66. There's an error. I still haven't figured out why the file name isn't right. I really need to get rid of all these random testing garbage. FLAC 66. What's happening? Ooh. Huh. Missing. Why would it be... Oh, damn. So two concerns here. One, this blank beginning bit should actually be blank, but it's not. And two, didn't work. It don't work. Let me try. So I captured both an I-frame and a P-frame. I was hoping I would just be able to sort of clunk the P-frame on and have something work. And just have it work by magic. But given that that doesn't actually make any sense, let me try only using I-frames. And if that fixes it, then I will have to find some other solution. Unfortunately, this is going to be a real mess of like, oh, with H.264 you can only do this, but with VP8 you can do that, and with VP9 you can't do that, but you can do this. I was really hoping to... basically, I was hoping that, like, you know, baby's first video codec tutorial would be sufficient information for me to know what to do. And in reality, I know it's always more complicated than that. There are I-frames and P-frames, but the P-frames really like to be attached to the right I-frames, and they'll check, and if they're not, they're going to get angry at you. Didn't actually check, but it should be 66 again, since I just moved the previous 66 out of the way. Yeah, okay, so that makes it not complain. So, damn. Damn, damn, damn. The problem is that uh, the iframe is bigger. So I was hoping to throw on some P frames just to get it to not be huge. I need to reconsider my options in terms of getting an iframe P frame pair. So, for anybody who doesn't know, iframes are basically JPEGs. They just describe a frame as a complete image, and P frames are progress frames or progressive frames. They describe a frame in terms of the change from the previous frame. And like if this were MPEG 1 or MPEG 2, then you would just be able to like throw P frames around and it'll just, it'll figure it out. But it's very unhappy because the P frames really know what the frame ought to look like. And so when I try and throw a P frame into the wrong place, I was getting just very odd behavior. So yeah, 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 yeah. Very, very odd behavior, which I don't trust that it's going to work everywhere. Why do you have an error code? What was the error code? Firefox. Cool. That indeed doesn't exist. There it exists. Now can you deal with it? Yes! That shouldn't have worked. Well, it also didn't work, so there's your problem. Firefox is dev null, but other than that, everything's pretty great. Presumably there's like firefox.real, yeah. People wonder why I am not a zealot for Linux, and I don't like actually recommend that everybody use Linux, in spite of the fact that I use it myself and I'm quite happy with it. And we just had a demonstration of why. Damn, I really need... I need to think about many things here. Well, okay, big question. Why didn't it have any blank frames? Why didn't it have a blank frame track? Let me check whether it actually did have a blank frame. Unfortunately, I don't know what order these are in. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. This has 2 tracks. What can you tell me about the second track? Show packets? It actually starts with the frames from the second track. So they should really be there. Well, they're there. They're there. So it's somehow in like transcribing them from the one location to the other that things went amiss. It was not a recording problem as far as I can tell. Let's see what we've actually got there. I need to write a treatise titled In Defense of Printf Debugging. God, I love printf debugging. Doesn't get enough respect. I'm perfectly happy to use a stepping debugger. Stepping debuggers are good, they have their place, but that place is not as a replacement for printf debugging. Blank packets undefined. Well, crap sandwiches, why? There's no way I only read the one track. Read multi. No, I read up to 16 megs, but I don't limit anything else. Maybe the issue is that I didn't actually find .codec ID is media type video. Well, that's pretty unlikely. Autocomplete should be a crime. That there is a 0% chance that I typed codec underscore ID. I probably typed CO, and then it auto-completed, and I went, yeah, that's probably right, and it auto-completed to codec ID instead of codec type. I can see that that is exactly what happened. Okay, so now this ought to be slightly better in the sense that it should at least be actually black frames instead of what it was before, which was just this first frame repeated. And the black frames should be lighter, like it shouldn't be quite as bad. Now, other problem, I need to fix it at the end too, but I really, I want to figure this out. I want to get progress frames in there. I should not have just iframes. What is Wikipedia says? Progress frames or progressive frames? Wick, thank you. Nothing? They don't have any actual name? What? Oh, predicted. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fine. Oh. It's interesting because predicted is a very sort of codec implementer way of describing what's going on. Progress is more of a, like, codec user way of describing what's going on. Okay, let's see how busted this is. Yeah, I mean, here's the really annoying thing. Like, it actually works fine, but it only works because FFmpeg in particular is so resilient about weird data. Like, FFmpeg, you can pretty much throw anything at it and it'll figure it out. But, yeah, if I threw this same file into QuickTime or something, it would be like, what the hell is all this then? Default is 65538. The hell is that? The default in hex is 1002? Or rather, 10002. What do I do about this? Unfortunately, I think my only realistic solution is to get a bunch of blank frames. Basically as many as the encoder is willing to give me. Well, up to like 120. That is le suck, but probably it's the only way that this is going to work. Okay, so let's change how this works to do that. Oh my god, I can't type. That does suck. That does suck. Now I need a new frame. Whatever. Wait. Frame number times a billion, then divided by 60. Now I want to make sure lonely cold evenings, says Van Witman in chat. It is entirely not the evening where I am. Not especially cold either. Help me, MDN. You're my only hope. Uncoded video chunk. What I don't want is to get past a, like, I don't want to get multiple iframes in here. Why don't I? It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's completely fine. It doesn't matter. I can just throw them all in the pot. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to record a bunch of blank frames, up to 120 blank frames. And on the other end, I need to be able to use that. I keep forgetting how everything is organized here. Download processor. It's bad that I keep forgetting how it's organized, since I'm the one what organized it! Okay, so let's, instead of having blank I and blank P, let's just have blank packets. if it's keyframe, then I don't want it. Otherwise, I'm going to keep it. Instead of having blank I and blank P, I'm just going to have blank packets and call it a day. That makes this much simpler because I no longer need that distinction. And here, rather than counting anything, I'll just say packet equals this dot blank packets. Sent modulo this dot blank packets dot length. That way I don't need to worry about iframes versus pframes. I'll just send them in the order they appear. Then I duplicate, set the timestamp. All good. And yes, instead of blank I and blank P, I'll just have blank packets. This is not a good solution, but it is not the worst solution. There exist worse solutions in the world, not much worse. What's really going to be bad is that on Safari, rather than repeating just a black screen, it's going to repeat a somewhat unpredictable duration of the beginning of the video over and over again. Because I can't produce just plain black packets there. So that's going to be slightly wackadoo, but you know, it's fine. It's great. Okay. Oh, yes. Please do not close this window while video streaming is in progress. How dare you! Wait for this to actually upload to Google. Got a meg to upload. I need to do something about that. Maybe I can just, well, I don't know. Man, there really isn't anything I can do to make that faster. Since chat is my rubber ducky, what does that mean? I say, what does that mean? It sounds like something I probably said at some point, and now I'm just saying, what the hell did I mean by that? That's an obviously insane statement that perhaps I made at some point in the past. Okay, no whammies. It's not complaining. Yeah. No complaints, no problems. Came through perfectly. Ah. Oh yeah. I have heard that. I have heard of that concept. I do. Let's talk psychology for a moment. I was utterly stunned to learn that there are people who do not have a continuous inner monologue. And people who do not have a continuous inner monologue are utterly stunned to learn that there are people who have a continuous inner monologue. But I, like, my mode of thought is verbal. And so, if I need someone to talk to, my own brain is right there waiting for me. So I really don't need to anthropomorphize anything to have something to talk to, because I am more than happy to talk to myself. Okay. Now, the other side, I didn't really consider very carefully. So this is the beginning. I need to remember the last timestamp so that I know whether it's the whether I've reached the end. That's what I need. Because this is when I stop. But this is too early to stop. Actually, the other side is going to be a bit tricky. Yeah, the other side is going to be, it's not like magic, it's not, impossible, but it is going to be a bit tricky. I actually need to keep both the, particularly since this is the end, I need to keep both the low bits and high bits. So I'm going to do it this way. Now, that handles those queued packets. Once I get into here, don't know why I keep thinking I need to put that on multiple lines. It is perfectly readable like this. Here's what I need. I need a distinction between blank at the beginning and blank at the end. And then I need to figure out the blank count. I also need to figure out the blank time, but that's pretty easy. the blank time? Okay. Do I not have... I do not. Oh, it's this dot string. Fine, I can do that. Dot time base. Numerator divided by time base denominator plus 1 frame. Don't have blank start at the very next frame. Or do have blank start at the very next frame. Don't have blank start at the first frame. Now, the blank count is the duration minus the blank time. So that's how much to fill in times the frame rate. Math. And then I actually want this not to break. I want it to go back around the loop. No, I want it to go back around a loop, not this loop. Oh dear, I don't actually have this. I wonder if this is going to do something weird. Well, we'll just have to find out. The question is, what if it pulls and I don't do anything? What if it asks for frames and I'm just like, no, screw you? Why no Fruit Loops? Asks Van Whitman in chat. Oh dear. Did I do what I think I did? That's a big yes. I wanted this code, thank you. Okay, so if there's a blank count, or we're filling in the blank at the end, quite often both, if we actually got anything, I guess if sent is fine. And then if we're at the end and we no longer have a count, then we're done. I feel like that might have been too clever by half, so let's see if this just works. The hell? Oh. I was seeking too far and I went right into the blank section again. These are actually harmless. You can ignore all this junk. So, there's blank at the end, there's blank at the beginning. It worked. It's just a little bit hard to show because I did so little actual recording that it's like there's blank and then there's blank. Okay, let me play from the beginning. Okay, I start recording there. Move the window around a bit just to show. And yep, last thing I did was press unshare screen. Great, okay. So, after months of work, that is in fact working. Okay. Everything seems good. Yeah. Okay. I'm a little bit confused about this. I guess I already committed that is the answer to that question. That's fantastic. That's great progress. Can I extremely quickly figure out why the file name got botched? Who shit the bed? Whose job was it to get the file name? Ops.name. So it ain't complicated. It should be coming from just the input options. It's not the job of this tool at all. In which case, that means that it's the job of this tool. No, sorry. That means that it's the job of this tool. Oh dear. That's the name of an individual track. The individual track naming was fine. It was just the overall name that got botched. So it's this name. Chose go to definition. That wasn't the definition of this. That was the definition of the type of this, not of the variable name. That's very annoying. I'll just look for let name. Const name? What? Var name? What? Oh, is name just some global variable that I assumed I would have? I'll bet it is. Yeah, I stuck it into the chooser options, but I didn't use it in the chooser options correctly. I'll bet that I'm doing it correctly as I call the chooser, but I just missed a step because that was a global variable. It's bizarre that that didn't report an error. I can't just use some random global variable. That's not how that works. Very strange. Very strange. That is not the failure mode I would expect from that, but it was a failure, so... The only question now is when I press download, do I get the correct file name? Test.flac.zip. I probably don't want it to be .flac.zip when I'm actually combining video with audio, because that's misleading. It suggests that it's like the audio type that matters when the video is there too. But that is not incorrect, so that's a big improvement. That's it for today. Downloading video muxed works. Excellent. Other than just a lot of cleanup, I don't have a lot of steps until this is a releasable thing then, because that was the big part. I haven't tested downloading video independently, and I have just a lot of like fighting Google to do. But other than that, massive progress. Till next time. Stream over.